Hello, I'm Katie Page. I'm the Instructional Technology Coordinator for District 214, and we're going to take a look at some digital decluttering today. This video is meant to be used as a resource so you can watch just sections of it if there's different parts of your workflow that you want to take a closer look at to try to make it more efficient or to just clean up. And so don't feel that you need to watch this all the way through. And we're going to go ahead and start with why you should declutter. Obviously, it's going to make you more organized, which will make you more efficient. We certainly don't want to waste time. Hopefully, it'll reduce your stress a little bit. But one thing you might not know is that your daily email is like a 4-mile drive. So wherever your email is being stored, all of us probably with Google, right, our Gmail, they have to have servers to store all of this stuff. So it's actually very environmental to delete things rather than archiving. If you're not going to use something, delete it because we're causing carbon emissions. Okay, so a little overview of this video. I'm going to start with some MacBook tips and tricks, and then I'm going to go to Gmail, and then we'll talk about Chrome a little bit because I know a lot of staff opt to use Chrome. All right, so with MacBook, we're going to start by taking a look at using multiple desktops, stacks, widgets. I can show you the Reminders app real quick, and then the Do Not Disturb feature. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's start by talking about this notification center. If you can see the little at the top of the screen there, they're showing you when you take your 2 fingers and swipe to the left, the notification center pops out. Are you doing that accidentally all day long? You can turn that off right here. So toggle that off if you don't like it. I am inside of settings, by the way. I am under settings, under trackpad. Notification center. So that's one thing on a MacBook that I have staff ask about frequently is like things just keep, I'm moving around on my trackpad and things keep moving. I lose things are popping up. This is one, notification center. So toggle that off. Another one, mission control. Do you have lots of windows open like I do right now? Are you constantly fishing around in the background trying to find, which window is there because you had it full screen? So what you want to do, it's showing you what to do with your fingers on the left on the trackpad and then what happens on the screen on the right. So just 3 fingers swipe up. You can see all of your windows that are open. 3 fingers swipe down. It brings them back. So that's a great one. And then if you want to show the desktop, if you want to get rid of all of these windows and then go ahead and see what is on your desktop, you're going to just go like that and come back like it's showing. You spread your thumb and your 3 fingers. So if you look at the little graphic at the top of the screen, you just put those 4 fingers on the trackpad and push out. Some other things I would like to show you on the MacBook is if you take your 3 fingers and swipe up, so you're gonna spread everything out there, and then take your cursor up top here, you can add a desktop using this little plus feature. This might help you with workflow. I use it if I have different projects I'm working on, and you take 3 finger swipe, and here I am. And I've come back to my other desktop and I can swipe again and I have a blank desktop here. So you can see 3 finger up, I move my cursor to the top and those are all of my desktops. So the way I'm using it today is I have my presentation on this page and then I can swipe and I'm going to go over here to show you some things. Or you can have like a video waiting over here if you're going to show your students something and you didn't want to have to, fidget through all of your windows over here on this page. So that's a nice one, using multiple desktops. While I'm over here on my blank desktop, I want to show you another feature. If you press down the Control button, it's on the bottom row of your keyboard, and then click anywhere on your blank desktop, there's something here called Stacks. I'm going to uncheck it. Look what happens. So I've got all of these screenshots and movie clips and all sorts of things that have just been dumped onto my desktop, and it's a mess. So I'm again going to find a little open spot. I'm going to push Control and click, and I'm going to tell it to use stacks, and boom, cleans up my desktop for me. It will stack it by type. So here's my movies, my PDFs, my images. It's a really nice feature to have stacks there for yourself. Another thing you can do with that same menu, so again, Control click, is you can put some widgets on your screen. You will see on my screen I have all of these widgets. I've got, a clock and the news, the weather, my reminders app. There's certain things there that you can put, but if you click on Edit Widgets, you'll get the whole list. And then you can just add, any of these things that are here. So that's kind of fun if you want to customize your background. Also, of course, you can change the background under settings, all of those things. The Reminders app is a nice feature on MacBook that you can use. You can set it up with columns. I'll let you take a look at that on your own. I'm not sure how you keep track of your daily tasks, but here's mine. I've got for teachers, I've got for schools, I've got for the district, and then for me, and I've got, different columns going here, which is kind of nice. So I started using it and I really liked the feature, and so I stuck with it. Some of you want to just write on paper or however you keep track of your things, but that's one thing that's embedded on your MacBook that is nice. Another that you can do is focus, and way up on the top, next to your time and date on your MacBook is a little icon that looks like toggle switches. That's your control center. And if you open it, you'll see there's something called focus. And you can turn on your do not disturb. So if you are going to present or teach from your MacBook, you might want to make sure that your do not disturb is on so you're not having notifications popping down. But there are all sorts of things you can do under focus settings. Again, that's under your settings, under your system settings. And then if you go to focus, and you can add your own. So you can put times on it and that sort of thing. Okay, moving on. We have so many things in Gmail to take a look at. Filters, we're going to look at how you can label tasks, setting up templates, different things inside of Gmail that should make your workflow a little bit more efficient, so hopefully a little less stressful. You can see here I have a screen grab, but I'm going to show you my Gmail Live as well. I have labels and filters set up so that when emails hit my inbox, they come in pre-labeled. And I've assigned colors to them as well so that my brain doesn't have to constantly exert the energy of rereading my inbox to see the things that I need to take a look at and address during the day, and then deciding, like, is this important? Is this urgent? Do I have to do this today? Can it wait a week? And so we're going to start by looking at filters and labels. So let's go ahead and do that. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Gmail. You can see, first of all, that I have my inbox. You can set this up however you want, but I have my unread emails at the top and then everything else below. And where you pick that is under settings. If you click this little thing here, and then just scroll down a little bit. You actually don't need to open the menu. If you scroll down a little bit here, there's all different types of inboxes. And so there's a default, important, unread first, starred, etc. You can set up multiple inboxes. I tried that for a little bit. That was a little too crazy town for me, but take a look at it, see what it does. And then you've got all these other options on the bottom. So take a look at that. So as you can see, I've got labels here. These are just from today. I'm doing this at the end of January in 2025. I'm not sure when you're watching this. But you can see that these have hit my inbox pre-labeled. So something that went to conferences at Hersey, I've got a calendar notification. I'm the one who's takes care of all of the things that we do with Apple. And so I have a lot of communication with them. I also answer tickets in the help desk, and then I have a lot of communication with the technology staff. And so I labeled one of mine tech desk. I just made it up. Teaching and learning. I want to make sure that hits my eyeball, so that I know what's going on. And so if you want to set up a label, there's two different ways. I would suggest starting in settings, go to see all. At the top, it says filters and blocked. And then don't be triggered. I have a lot of filters. I'm going to scroll down. You will eventually see a thing that says create a new filter. It's at the top probably somewhere for you unless you have a lot of filters. So you're going to go ahead and hit create new filter and you'll get this box. Now let's say you want to filter something from me, from Katie Page. You can just start typing in my name and then you can choose my email. I suggest not putting a string. I've tried it because it gives you a little comma, so I could put another name here. I have found that those seem to be a little glitchy, so I do one person at a time. Or you can have, instead of a name, you can have it something that has the words, bites, if you were trying to filter my Bites and Bits newsletter. So you can do it by word or who it's from. Most of you probably want to start with conferences. So I'll just start with Hersey. So I type in JHHS and I get conference and I just click on that. And then down here, we're going to hit create filter, not search, create filter. And then you can have it do all of these things. So you can read those on your own. But what we're going to do today is we're going to apply the label. And if you have a label already that says conferences, just choose it. If you don't, go ahead and create a new label and hit create. When you go over here to your labels, you can give it a color by clicking on these little three dots over here and giving it a label color. And then from now on, when you get a conference email, it will hit your inbox pre-labeled. And again, you can do that for people. If you want to make sure that you're seeing something from administration or from your PLC, those are all options. All right, something else we're going to take a look at inside of Gmail is saving as a template and then suggesting a time to meet. There's all kinds of really interesting things when you go to compose an email. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit compose. And down here, you'll see there's three little dots, or you might have some of these options showing down here depending on how zoomed in or out your Gmail is. And so I'm going to click on these little three dots. I'm going to go to, let's go ahead and do set up a time to meet. We'll take a look at this one first. So if you're trying to meet with someone and get a date on your calendar, this is just for one person, not for a group of people. You can go over here and click offer times you're free, and then your calendar pops up. I'm going to go ahead and say I want a 30-minute meeting. I'm free at 10 a.m. today, or 9:30. I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to go to the next day, and I'm going to say, oh boy, I'm not free till 9 o'clock at night. I'm going to click that. Then I'm going to hit next. I'm going to tell it add to email. And it pops in the times I want to meet. And so if I send this to Gabriella, and she opens it and says, yeah, I'm free at 9:30 a.m. When she clicks on that button, it will put both of us onto the Google Calendar. You don't have to put in the invite. It puts both people in immediately. Really, really nice feature. Okay, so that's called suggest time to meet. Another one is templates. Let's say you're constantly sending the same email to students or to staff. For example, I often ask staff to submit a help desk ticket. So I saved a template that says, help desk ticket, please. So you'll see this is the completed one. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it just put in my message, hi, please submit a help desk ticket, give me all of this information. And then I went ahead and I gave them the link to the help desk. So the way you would do this from scratch is, let's say I just wrote all of this. and I put it in and I want to save it because I know I'm going to do it again, I would come down here to the three dots. I would go to templates. I would say save as template and then go over here to new template. And then I would just name it. I would give it a name. So pretty easy. It's great. It's a nice time saver. One last thing down here that I wanted to show you is that there are some fun little layouts in here. It's called Select a Layout. This is the icon if you're looking for it. And you can have like a little newsletter. For example, I'm going to Rolling Meadows next week, and this is just the little layout that I'm working on, the schedule, and this will get inserted into an email. So if you send newsletters to kids, to parents, to staff, these are just some nice little easy layouts if you want, and you can change it up. You can change up the color, the style, the pictures, and I mean, you can really go down the rabbit hole with this one. So I thought I would just show that. Okay, archive versus delete. I would say archiving is nice if it's an email you really think you're going to need to reference again. It just puts it in the general inbox. It's not deleting it. It's just like it puts it aside into your all mail. So it takes it out of the current inbox, but it's not deleted at all. If you think you're not going to ever look at that email again, just delete it. We shouldn't be storing things that we don't need. Let's go ahead now and take a look at Chrome. I wanted to start out with tabs, and then we can talk about bookmarks a little bit too. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So you can see here I've got my daily, my web, my school, my digital literacy course. So let's say something that I'm working on today. I've got my inbox, I've got Schoology thing, the Chat GPT license cohort, and I have all these tabs open. But I want to be able to put them away. So I'm just clicking on the word daily, and these are collapsing in and opening back up. You can go ahead up here under the word tab and tell it group. And you can see it opened a new one for me over here with just this blank tab that I didn't have anything on. And then I'm going to name it. So this is my blank tab that I'm just practicing with. And then I can go ahead and pick a color for it. And then once it's created, you can see you've got other options here. I can open a new window, and I can just have the help desk open up or something like that. And if I take this tab and slide it over, you'll see it turn to that same orangey yellow color that I picked. So now both of these tabs, the portal and the help desk, are underneath this thing that I called blank tabs. So when I click on the title, they fold behind, and when I click on the title again, they open back up. So tabs are a really, really nice way to keep yourself organized. The other thing that you can do to group tabs is by using, again, the control button, very handy. If you control click on a tab, it gives you a menu as well, and you can remove things from group. You can start new groups. You'll see over here if I open another new tab and I put Red Rover there and I hit control click, it'll let me add tab to group, and I can start a new group that way as well. So control click to start new groups and to remove groups as well. You can also just X out of a tab and it'll take it out of the group. Another cool thing is if I go ahead with my new blank tab here and I click and hold, I can drag it out. So I dragged the entire group out, which is kind of nice. And so again, you can collapse, you can, open it back up, or I can go ahead and X out of here, but it will keep it, because if you look at the top of my Chrome, I've got all of my tab groupings here. And in this little 4 box, I've got all of the rest of my tab groupings here, but those are not all open. I've X'd out of those. And so for example, let's say I wanted to get, my Arlington Heights Memorial Library thing open here, I could just click on it and it'll add that tab grouping back over here for me. I only just had one thing there. So even though I go here and I can pull that out and I can, take the red X and hard X out of those, you can get them back by coming to the menu. So tabs are a beautiful thing. I like tabs. And then one last thing I wanted to show you about Chrome were bookmarks. I think sometimes, we kind of get away from bookmarks because we're just leaving our tabs open. Now everyone's going to be grouping their tabs. But it is nice to have bookmarks. I like to either not name my bookmark, if you can see here on my little graphic, or just give it like a simple name or no name if you know what it is. And so you can control that under bookmark settings. So I'm going to just go over here and just open a tab just so that, there's nothing there. But you can go up here to where it says bookmarks and then go to manager. And for example, here's my Schoology icon. And so unfortunately, it's way over here. So I like to click on it so I can see the blue bar because the dots to control and edit are so far over to the right that sometimes I lose my place. So if you just click on it, you'll be able to see where you are. But if you click on the three dots, you can edit it. And here in the name, I left it blank. I know what Schoology looks like. It's the Power School P. And so I just left it blank so it's not taking up space up here on my bookmarks bar. But you can see like these, a couple of them I didn't label. And also you can drag these around. So you can take, SFS and move it up. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I hope you are a little bit more decluttered. Feel free to reach out anytime with other questions about cleaning up your digital life.